welcome back to Soul Light Radio. This is DJ Liche. I'm in the studio with
Lewiis,
and of course our very special guests,
Darryl Beaton and Darryl Martinez.
oh yeah, why didn't he say his own name? Say it, come on, Darwin, say it.
Darryl Martinez.
Hey, that's how you do it.
That's what
Sounds
I'm
hot.
Yeah. You can try
It
something,
sounds
man.
so much more exotic when you
Try
got
it,
an accent.
try it.
My name is Darryl Beaton.
That would be
Yeah,
cool.
that
Yeah,
sounds
it
sexy.
works, man. It
Yeah,
works.
right.
I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna roll with
I
that.
like it. Actually, we could go with that, Darryl Beaton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
So different parts of the
That's
world,
my-
you can be, different places, different,
That's
different
right.
accents. It works.
Let me be the
Yeah.
first to welcome you to be the first special guest on our show.
That's a real privilege. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Honor. Special.
Awesome having you guys. I mean, like, you guys, as far as I can say, you guys are up there, way up there for me, and much respect to you guys, your music, what you've been going out the last years. It's been high quality music and exactly what the scene needs. I mean, I see the scene really soul starved scene in Sydney. So yeah, it's great to have you guys on board. How do you see the scene at the moment?
Well, I see some things that are encouraging. Like you and I spoke earlier about, we put on an event last week to raise funds for
the floods.
for the flood
Yep.
charity, and we had like a dozen soul artists all come together on one night,
Awesome.
and it was unbelievably successful. So
Yeah.
we filled the room to capacity and actually changed the crowd almost twice.
Yeah.
So obviously there's that scene, and then there's the need for it. People want soul music. People want good feeling music. The necessity is there.
Yeah.
So I see that. That's encouraging. But we're a little bit behind the game in terms of international, in the context of international.
That's true, because I remember that we were just talking just before you guys were on air, and I was saying it's been a little while since I've seen you, because I've been in the soul scene for a while as well. And I don't know, I think it must have been around mid-2000s, the last time we actually were doing an event together.
Yeah, right.
So it's-
I was about 15 at the time. I was surprised I was allowed in that
What,
club.
like 21 now?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Let's roll with that.
Big shout out to OBA, who was from the UK, who put on that event.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that you're really getting out there and putting some fantastic soul music out there for people to hear. The two tracks that we did play before our sponsors were My God Is Better Than Yours and Shoulders. Is Shoulders the new one off the new album?
They're the two singles that we're going to run with. We're doing a film clip for My God Is Better Than Your God at the moment, which is featuring all the members of the band.
Yeah.
We're just having such a ball making it. My wonderful partner, girlfriend is producing it.
Awesome.
So she's a clever girl. She's doing all the editing. So we've already done a couple of beach scenes. Not anything in
Should bring you in one day.
yeah. So we're having fun making that. Yeah. So they're the two singles that are going to be released.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. And for those out there who don't know too much about you guys, they're kindly pointing it to each other and trying to get each other on the mic. For those who can't see, we'll get the webcam up happening so you guys can check that out a bit later. But you guys have actually been overseas with your music too.
Yeah. A couple of times. We've been to Japan about 4 or 5 times in the last 2 years.
It's kind of home to you guys now.
Absolutely love it.
How's your Jap?
It's not bad.
Speaking it already.
Dude, I've actually taken the time to translate some of the hooks of the songs into Japanese. It's just a great way of connecting.
Yeah,
I mean, I might
definitely.
be really bad at it. And so a couple of times, they've actually... I had one experience where a guy said, don't talk in Japanese. But other than that, I think the majority of the time they're like, thanks for trying.
Yeah.
It's like a special,
that's
they
good.
look at
That's
me
good.
like I'm, some standard, but I'm trying.
That's good. Yeah.
And we went to China at the end of last year, played World Expo outside the Australian Pavilion to about 5,000-6,000 people.
Wow.
We did supposed to only do 2 gigs. We went back. They asked us to come back, and we did like 7 gigs.
So they're loving their soul in Asia.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was really amazed. I expected Asian people in general, and this is an ignorant Western view, that they're going to be really placid and not get involved. Man, I couldn't have been more wrong. They went absolutely nuts, and I was telling someone the other day, it's the first time I've seriously contemplated doing a stage dive.
Wow.
It was that hyped up.
How is that? A
That's
stage
awesome.
dive for soul music. That would be something to see. That'd be great.
Oh, look, I probably would have done it, but the front, the first few rows of people weren't that big. I think I probably would have crushed it. You know? If I thought I could get away with it, or they could have grouped together and supported me, I probably would have given it a go. But nah, I might have hurt them.
Oh well, man. Well, looking forward to say the next year or so, or even the end of this year. So, what's happening with Darryl Beaton and the band?
Yeah, well, we're just signed with MGM. Awesome supporter of independent artists. And a lot of our friends and we're all signing to MGM, so they're going to help us distribute the album in Australia.
Awesome.
And we've just signed in Japan to a label called Tsunami Records, and they're really excited about helping us get in, or they're involved in some of the bigger festivals like Summer Sonic and Fuji Rock Festival.
Wow.
And so we're really excited about going and just sharing Australian soul music, I guess you'd say. I mean, even though it's international, it's Australian.
I think it's also a good way, because like a lot of distribution companies here find it hard just to take on soul music because they think this is not something that's related to the market. But I guess in a way you're kind of innovating the way for soul music to open into the Australian market.
Yeah, look, I think it's a case of not necessarily waiting until the Australian market catches up. We'll just take it, we'll export it, and then bring it back if necessary. Definitely, it's very satisfying to nourish your own territory. I wouldn't want to sort of just be an international artist, because it's contributing back to the community. If you're here and you're creating sounds and you're networking your artistry, it's a healthy thing.
I think because the problem has been a lot of artists had to go overseas first and then come back.
That's right.
So I find that's lacking in support.
Yeah, it's the typical model, and doesn't
sadly that's how it is.
Well, actually, speaking of it, it's actually like that with soul music worldwide, because I've spoken to some American artists who find the same thing. They don't get the love and support in
Back
their
home.
hometown, and they're taking it over to the UK because UK loves their soul music too. So
I guess it's all about perception, isn't it? Like, people have the perception that if something comes from
the States, or
anywhere else,
that is good.
It's bigger than it actually is, the reality of what it is.
But you guys are pretty big.
We're massive.
See? Massive.
So, how big are we, Donald? Donald wants to speak.
Massive.
Massive.
Massive. No, we're doing all right. We've covered, I think, as far as Darryl and myself, I mean, we've been friends for a long time, and we've been in the music scene for a few years now. So we've been, I think we've played for everybody, covered every scene, and between us both, we've covered just about every musical style. So this band's good because it's everyone in the band is out there doing different things, and we come together. We do this original
Do
project.
individual artists that come together to form Darryl Beaton and then actually
D1 Cartel.
D1 Cartel, that's it, you guys are called now. So for those out there, it's Darryl Beaton and the D1 Cartel.
We're having a good time with it. It's fun, and we get a lot of young musicians coming to watch us play.
And you guys are quite welcoming to other artists coming up and have a jam with you.
Absolutely.
Well,
if they can throw down something with us, absolutely. We embrace it. We embrace it, and it's great because, I mean, I wish I would have had the opportunity to just get up and perform with a band. That's the thing with us. We can, if we see someone in the audience, we bring them up. There's no problem,
That's awesome.
Is there anyone in particular that you haven't had a chance to work with that you would like to work with?
That's a good question.
No. No, I don't know. For me, repeat the question again. Because I'm lost.
You said, are you satisfied?
Let me fix it.
Is there anyone, you're talking like on the wish list? Like a bucket list of artists.
There's so many people, but I'm happy. I haven't worked with Michael Jackson
or Madonna. No one's going to do it.
I didn't get to work with. But look, man, like in Australia, we have so many fantastic musicians and artists. So I really am not missing out on anything.
Yeah.
Everything's here. We got everything here. We live in the most beautiful place on earth.
Yeah.
So there's no problem.
Yeah.
And I have to ask the question because it is a Soul Delight show. What delights your soul?
Ooh. Oh, man.
Chocolate.
Chocolate? Wow.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
You said it.
Yeah.
This is what happened when we let him talk. So, music does, man. I listen to a lot of uplifting music. I listen to a lot of gospel music, a lot of soul music, and this, when you hear something,
That you feel.
if you got your jam
Yeah.
of the time, there's
Yep.
nothing that makes you feel better.
That's right.
And it's such a powerful thing. If you're smart enough to be able to recognize when you're not in a great mood, and then switch on some music, you can change your whole perception of the world. It's
Definitely.
a
So
powerful thing.
putting you in your bubble.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
That's it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So,
I get turned on with silence. Believe it or not.
Wow.
yeah.
Because when you turn on the music, it's like
Wow.
the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You always have that effect. I
Yeah.
get on to silence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that one.
Silence, sex, and food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good things, I think.
Isn't that what they say? Like sound is not pure sound. Sound is a combination. Like a sound wave is like it has a crest and a trough. Everything has to be noise and then silence. Nothing is pure sound anyway.
Yeah.
See, silence has to beautifully coexist with sound in order for it to make anything. Isn't that right?
He's a singer, that's why you can talk like that.
We have to say thank you so much for joining us in the studio. We really do appreciate you coming in.
That's our pleasure.
We will be blasting your tracks on the show, and for those listening out there, they can vote for the tracks. We will put them in the list of the top 10 to vote for the top 5. But before we go, do you guys have anybody you would like to say hi to or shout out to? Oh, actually,
Definitely.
I believe Lewis has a question.
No, that's all right. You go.
Look, man, I want to give a shout out to my lady
I hear.
because that's going to work in my favour, definitely.
Definitely.
Sweetheart, I love you.
Yeah.
I want to give a big shout out to my 2 little girls. I got 2
Hey.
little princesses, Indigo and Eden. Daddy loves you more than you'll ever understand.
Beautiful.
And my family. And Donna wants to thank.
All the people that have supported us over
Yeah.
the years, which
Awesome.
is a lot. It's a lot of
Yeah.
people. So thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. One last before you guys leave again. Advice in terms of what would you give to young artists who trying to come up in the industry?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there. Coming up from the days of Motel and so on. So how would you say, like, for example, if somebody want to come up now and do something, what advice would you give them?
I'd just say plug in and
Do your
just,
thing.
well, just be open and don't be afraid to approach people like Darren or myself.
Yeah.
I remember being petrified of going up to my peers when I came here from like Tasmania, a country town, scared. I didn't know even what to say to someone who I admired.
Yep.
I'd say plug into it. Just go up and say, you know what's happening? How, where are the good gigs at?
Yep.
How can I do some writing? And just go and be part of it. Be part of the culture first, and then you will become the culture.
Yeah.
So you have to support it. Come to our gigs, come to other artists' gigs, and say hello, and just be part of it. And I think that's the best way to get.
Yeah.
Just slip into the stream of what's going on.
Definitely.
That's right. Well, you heard it. Sorry, you go.
Oh no. On the other hand, you got I believe in what young people should be focusing on instead of their careers so much. They should be focusing on their health because without their health, they're not going to be able to do anything. So
I know exactly what you mean.
And so the real thing is to be healthy, and your career will everything will just fall in place. There's no hurry, and you got your whole life ahead to
Everything
take your
happens
time.
at the time that it's meant
Yes,
to happen.
take your time.
Some great advice from the guys
Yeah.
from Darryl Beaton and the D1 Cartel band. So make sure you guys check them out. They are definitely in Sydney, gigging around, and I'm sure they'll come to a town near you all around Australia and worldwide. So thanks again, guys, for coming into the studio. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to having you guys back again real soon. Mm.
All right. Well, I'm going to say you can always check out their website as well. Hold on. What's the website, guys?
Just www.darrylbeaton.com, DARRYLBEATON.
There you go.
That's it. If I'm going to say that faster, www.darrylbeaton.com, DARRYLBEATON.
Know your gigs and everything posted there.
And then come and, like we said, come and say hi. We're at the Civic every Wednesday night. We're playing, sharing our music. We'd love to meet new people. It'd be cool.
Pitt Street and Goulburn Street.
Oh, yeah.
Civic Hotel.
That's where you can
Tonight.
Tonight.
We're going down there now. We'll see you
Right
there.
now. See you later.
They're heading out of the studio as we speak, but
Yeah.
we thank them once again and hope to have them back in the studio again. Make sure you get to one of their gigs. We're going to get into some more music now for all you soul heads out there, and we'll be back with our double dip and some more shout outs. So keep it locked for Satellite Radio on 88.1 to RDJ FM with DJ Liche and
Lewiis.
And thanks again to
Darryl Beaton and
Tauno Martinez.
Yeah, like that.
come back anytime.